night's final round. It'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off from right here in Harding University. The winner of this one plays the winner of the Batesville Mountain home game. Those two clubs will square off at 7:30 tonight. And the two winners meet tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in the boys division. Brinkley defeated J.A. Fair last night, the team that ousted the Airedales last week from the regional tournament at BB. They will take on Dumas a bit later tonight, a 9 o'clock ball game. The winner of that one will advance into tomorrow night's boys final against the winner of the Hope Hamburg ball game. Hamburg represented in both boys and girls here in the state tournament. They'll be playing a boys ball game right and for the Lady Lions, Michelle Carley, Rose Taylor, Ann Thomas, Faye Hill, and Cynthia Watson. Rose Taylor and Babette Johnson will jump it up at the mid-court stripe. They are the two best players on the floor, and it will be interesting to see how they play this afternoon. Johnson and Taylor jumping it up. Hamburg comes up with a basketball. Faye Hill on the right side, kicks it back out front to Rochelle Carley. Carley, top of the circle, right side, on the wing to Hill. Hill underneath, nice speed to Taylor on the baseline, short jumper good. Rose Taylor with the game's first bucket, and the Lady Lions break out on top 2-0. Full-court pressure applied by Hamburg. Tiny Stewart in the backcourt, beats the press, moves across the timeline. 3-on-2, Hallmark by herself in the key, shot up, it's no good, but she draws a foul and she'll go to the free throw line. Personal foul is whistled against Cynthia Watson. That is her first foul of the afternoon, first team foul against either club. And Marcy Hallmark will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. 7:35 to play in the first quarter. Hamburg up early 2-0. Hallmark, the sophomore, had 6 points in the win over Harrison on Wednesday afternoon. Her first free throw is on the way. It's a short. In fact, it's an air ball. No good. Hallmark unable to connect on the first one. She'll come back for one more and a chance to cut the Hamburg lead in half. Second one by Hallmark is on the way. This time it goes down 1 of 2, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Full court pressure applied by Alma. Length of the floor pass by Cynthia Watson ahead to Rochelle Carley. Carley tries to go inside to Taylor. It's knocked away. We've got a jump ball between Hallmark and Hill, and on the alternating possession, Alma's going to have it. 7:26 to play in the first quarter. The Airedalettes down by 1, and they can take the lead with a bucket here. Dotson in the backcourt, away to Tiny Stewart. Cross court to Becky Smith. Still in the backcourt. Stewart across the timeline to Babette Dodson. Hill flashes for the steal, knocks it away. Watson comes up with it, drives into the lane. Jumper from about 8 feet, in and out, no good. Fight for the rebound, won by Tiny Stewart. Stewart clears it out in the backcourt. Now pulls up, walks the ball across the timeline with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Stewart, right side on the wing to Becky Smith. Cross-court feed to Babette Dodson. Dodson shot partially blocked by Taylor. Loose ball, it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Alma. And Hamburg will have it with 6:53 to play in the first quarter. The Lady Lions basketball in the backcourt. Cynthia Watson working against Becky Smith. Watson in the backcourt, away to Faye Hill. Hill into the front court, picked up by Tiny Stewart. Cynthia Watson now with the basketball, top of the circle, left side to Rochelle Clark. Set shot from 15 is good. Rochelle Carley with her first field goal, and Hamburg leads it 4-1. Babette Dodson away in the backcourt to Tiny Stewart, across the timeline to Becky Smith. Smith underneath Hallmark. Hallmark, nice move, shot up. This time it goes down. She draws the foul, and she'll go back to the free throw line. Ann Thomas whistled with the personal foul, her first of the afternoon, second team foul against Hamburg. Hallmark makes it a 1-point ball game, and she can tie it if she can complete the 3-point play. 6:22 remaining in the first quarter. Hamburg up 4-3. Marcy Hallmark at the line. Free throws on the way. It's up and it's good. Hallmark with 4. We're tied at 4 with 6:21 to play in the first quarter. Cynthia Watson in the backcourt for Hamburg. Double teamed by Dodson and Smith. Across the timeline to Faye Hill. Hill loses her footing. Loose basketball. Picked up by Cynthia Watson. She beats Alma to the bucket and gets the easy layup. Cynthia Watson with her first field goal, and the Lady Lions lead at 6-4. Tiny Stewart in the backcourt to Becky Smith. Smith still in the backcourt, across the timeline to Stewart. Stewart picked up by Cynthia Watson. Now Rochelle Carley comes out to greet her. Stewart goes right side on the wing to Becky Smith with 5:49 to play in the first quarter. Smith baseline Dodson. They leave her by herself from 8 feet. Short jumper, no good. Hallmark rebound, follow good. But the basket is going to be waved off. We've got a foul on Hamburg before the shot. It's going to go against Faye Hill. That is Hill's first foul, the third against Hamburg. And the Airedalettes will have the basketball out of bounds, trailing 6-4. Babette Dodson, away inbounds to Becky Smith. Left free throw line extended. Smith on the baseline, back to Dodson. Dodson from 15 makes a nice feed inside to Hallmark. Hallmark gets the easy bucket. It looked like Dodson was going to shoot it. She found Hallmark underneath, and we're tied at 6. Rochelle Carley on the other end drives inside and is called for the charge. Shannon Parker setting up along the right side of the key. Carley went inside. Is called for the charge, and Alma will have it in the backcourt. We're tied at 6, 5:27 to play in the first quarter. Full court zone pressure applied by the Lady Lions. Babette Dodson with the basketball. Double teamed along the right side in the backcourt. Cross-court feed to Becky Smith. Smith still in the backcourt. Now moves it across the timeline to Dodson. Dodson goes baseline. Can't get a shot away from about 8 feet. Back out front to Smith. Smith to Dodson on the wing. Jump shot from 15. Off the iron. No good. Rebound. Pulled away by Rose Taylor. Ahead in the backcourt to Faye Hill. Hill into the front court. Dribbles it off her foot and out of bounds. And the Airedalettes are going to have it on the side. 5:02 to play in the first quarter. Alma and Hamburg knotted up at 6. Ball dribbled off Faye Hill's foot. And the Airedalettes will have it in the backcourt. Tiny Stewart away to Becky Smith. Smith across the timeline to Babette Dodson. Dodson double teamed along the right side. Away to Marcy Hallmark. Hallmark right side tries to go underneath to Shannon Parker. It's knocked away by, I believe, Cynthia Watson. The ball goes out of bounds. Alma will maintain possession. 4:51 to play in the first. The Airedalettes looking to go up by 2. Parker takes the inbound speed on the right baseline. Out front between the circles now to Becky Smith. Smith for the free throw line. Pulls up. Left side on the wing to Stewart. Stewart underneath Parker. Turn around off the glass. No good. Rebound Taylor. Ahead to Carley. Carley on the other end tries to catch up with the basketball. Runs it down. Can't get a shot away. In the key to Taylor. Turn around. No good. Rebound Dodson. The Airedalettes getting back nicely defensively that time. Dodson quickly into the front court. Away to Becky Smith between the circles to Tiny Stewart. 4:20 to play in the first quarter. Hamburg and Alma tied at 6. Smith, right free throw line extended. Cross court to Dodson. Dodson from 12. Shot blocked by Faye Hill. Cynthia Watson picks up the loose basketball. And we've got a foul on Becky Smith. Smith reaching in the backcourt. Whistled for her first foul of the afternoon. That's the first team foul against the Airedalettes. It comes with 4:13 to play in the first quarter. And Hamburg will have it in the backcourt. Hamburg has done a good job defending Babette Dodson in the early going. She has yet to hit a field goal in 5 tries. Faye Hill in the backcourt, across the timeline to Rose Taylor. Taylor, nice pass underneath to Thomas. Thomas over Clark, jumper good. And Thomas with her first field goal. And the Lady Lions go back up by 2. 8-6, 3:58 to play in the first. Dodson along the right side in the backcourt. Double team. Moves it across the timeline to Becky Smith. Smith right side on the wing to Hallmark. Hallmark looks underneath. Now back out front to Stewart from the free throw line. Jumper off the front of the rim, no good. Stewart gets her own rebound. Follow good. Tiny Stewart with her first field goal, and we're knotted up at 8. Faye Hill in the backcourt. Double team. Cross-court feed to Cynthia Watson. Watson into the front court. Moves along the left side of the key. Dumps it off to Carley on the left wing. Set shot from 15. No good. Hill picks up the long rebound, and she's fouled by Tiny Stewart. Stewart reaching in. Picks up her first. The second against the Airedalettes. Comes with 3:27 to play in the first quarter. And Hamburg will have the basketball out of bounds. Substitution now for the Lady Lions. Angela Johnson checks into the ballgame for the first time this afternoon. And Cynthia Watson will take a breather. Hill away inbounds to Johnson. Johnson on the right wing to Carley. Carley back to Johnson on the wing. Looking underneath for Taylor. Can't find her. Back out front to Carley. Left side Faye Hill on the wing. Jumper from 12 is good. Faye Hill with 2 points. Each of the Lady Lions starters have 2, and they lead Alma 10-8 with 3:10 to play in the first quarter. Babette Dodson in the backcourt away to Tiny Stewart. Ball knocked away by Rose Taylor near the midcourt stripe. It goes out of bounds. The Airedalettes will have it back. Another substitution now for the Lady Lions. Linda Cecil into the ball game. And Michelle Carley will come out of action. Becky Smith in the backcourt now for the Airedalettes. Across the timeline to Stewart. 3 minutes to play in the quarter. Alma down by a bucket. Stewart near the midcourt stripe. Away to Parker. Ball knocked away. It's going to go out of bounds. And they say last touch by the Airedalettes. Rose Taylor hit it. Apparently, Babette Dodson also got her hand on the basketball. Last touched by Alma, and Hamburg will have it near the midcourt stripe. Good pressure D that time by the Lady Lions. Angela Johnson running the show offensively for the Lady Lions at the top of the circle. Goes right side on the wing to Faye Hill. Hill looks underneath, finds Ann Thomas right side of the key. Shot blocked by Becky Smith from behind, but Smith also got Ann Thomas on the arm, and Thomas will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. first foul, second foul against Becky Smith. Third team foul against Alma, and Thomas will be at the line with 2:43 to play in the first quarter. The Lady Lions up by a bucket, 10-8. First one by Ann Thomas is up, and it's good. Thomas with 3. She now leads Hamburg in scoring. Marcy Hallmark leading all scorers right now with 6 in the contest. Hamburg by 3. Thomas, second free throw, no good. Rebound taken down by Becky Smith, and the Airedalettes with a chance to cut it to 1. Stewart into the front court with 2:35 to play. Double team near the midcourt stripe, and she is fouled by Linda Cecil. Cecil with a bit too much pressure that time, picks up her first foul. That is the 5th team foul against Hamburg, so that's a break for the Airedalettes. They know they're going to be going to the free throw line at least for a 1-and-1 for the rest of the half each time they're fouled. And Tiny Stewart will be there right now for a 1-and-1, and she can make it a 1-point ball game if she can both ends. Of course, she's got to make the first one to earn the bonus. And we've got a lane violation against the Airedalettes. I believe Marcy Hallmark across the way had her foot in the paint before the shot. The players have to be set along the key once the free throw shooter takes the basketball. Hallmark had her foot in the key, and on the violation, Hamburg will have it. Ann Thomas into the front court, pulls up along the left side of the key. Shot no good. Dotson with a rebound. The Airedalettes not really hurt by the violation if they can come back and hit a bucket. Stewart in the backcourt, away to Becky Smith with 2:15 to play in the quarter, and we've got a traveling violation against Becky Smith. Smith moving the basketball across the timeline, took an extra step. You can see the Hamburg defensive pressure giving the Airedalettes some problems. Alma is not really accustomed to seeing this type of defensive pressure all over the floor. Faye Hill into the front court. Away to Angela Johnson between the circles with 2:05 to play in the first quarter. Left side to Cecil. Cecil, left baseline, shot no good. Air ball, in fact. Rebound pulled down by Marcy Hallmark. Away to Babette Dunson in the backcourt. Dunson across the timeline to Becky Smith. Smith, right side, Hallmark. Hallmark, baseline, Stewart. Stewart tries to go inside. Ball knocked away. Last touch by Ann Thomas. It goes out of bounds, and Alma's going to have it. We've got a timeout. 1:49 to play in the first quarter. Hamburg leading the Airedalettes. Yeah. 1:49 to play in the first quarter. Alma down by 3, 11-8. The Airedalettes will have the basketball. Babette Dunson getting set to feed it in. Nice pass to Tiny Stewart. Stewart underneath. Shot no good, but she drew the foul. Stewart went underneath with the big players. Couldn't get the shot to go off the nice inbounds pass from Dotson, but she draws the foul. It's on Ann Thomas, her second, and Tiny Stewart will be back at the free throw line. Stewart was there a moment ago, didn't get a chance to shoot it when the Airedalettes were called for the lane violation. Now she's back, and she can cut it to 2, or cut it to 1 rather, if she can both of them, but the first one is off the back of the iron and no good. 1:47 showing on the first quarter clock. Cynthia Watson now back into the ballgame for Hamburg, and Ann Thomas will come out. Thomas and Smith both have 2 personals at this point. Second one by Tiny Stewart off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound, Cynthia Watson, and Linda Cecil somehow got behind everybody. Nobody picked her up. She was alone at the other end of the floor, and Hamburg leads it by 5. Dotson into the front court quickly for the Airedalettes. Goes baseline, underneath, ball knocked away, and we've got a foul from behind on Cynthia Watson. Watson picking up her second. Boy, Linda Cecil got behind everyone. Becky Smith's going to come out, and Linda Brown checks into the ball game. And Babette Dodson will be at the line for a 1-and-1 with 1:32 to play in the first quarter. These are big free throws. Alma needs to cut it to 3 right here. Dodson scoreless in the ball game. The first one by her is on the way, off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled away by Cynthia Watson. Watson behind the back into the front court. Moves into the key, running jumper from 8 feet is good. Cynthia Watson with 4, and Hamburg opens up a 7-point lead with 1:18 to play in the first quarter. Alma in the backcourt. Babette Dodson with the basketball across the timeline. Spins around Thomas, moves into the key. Left side, Melinda Brown. Baseline, Parker underneath, by herself, layup good. Shannon Parker with her first field goal. And that was a big one right there. 5-point ball game, 1 minute to play in the quarter. Cynthia Watson into the front court. Away to Rose Taylor. Taylor inside, shot is good. And they called a block on Shannon Parker. We'll have to wait and see if they count the bucket. The foul is on Parker. And they're going to say no basket, apparently. They're going to say no basket, foul before the shot. So wave off the bucket with 57 seconds to play in the quarter. First foul against Parker. fourth against the Airedalettes. Inbound speed away to Angela Johnson. Johnson out front to Linda Cecil. Set shot from the top of the key, no good. Rebound Taylor inside, shot blocked. Loose basketball picked up by Taylor with 47 seconds to play. And now the Lady Lions want time. 46 seconds showing on the first quarter clock. Alma trailing 15-10. We're back in a minute. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, hey, tell me when that second break starts, okay? I didn't look at my clock. Okay. Johnson, Watson, Taylor, Cecil, and Hill on the floor right now for Hamburg. Dotson, Stewart, Parker, Hallmark. Hallmark comes up with a steal now for the Airedalettes. Away in the backcourt to Babette Dodson. Ball knocked off Angela Johnson out of bounds. Dotson, Stewart, Hallmark, Melinda Brown, and Shannon Parker on the floor for the Airedalettes. They'll have it in the backcourt. 35 seconds now to play in the quarter. Alma with a chance to cut it to three. Dotson along the right side. Pulls up on the baseline with 30 seconds to play. Jump shot from 12 is good. Babette Dodson with her first field goal, and it's a three-point game. 25 seconds to play. Cecil again on the left side. Ball knocked away, stolen by Shannon Parker, and she's fouled from behind by Linda Cecil. That was a big play. Linda Cecil was again behind everyone. Parker recovered nicely, took the ball away from her. Cecil fouls her from behind, and with 18 seconds to play, Shannon Parker will be at the line. That's the second foul of the afternoon against Linda Cecil. Parker with 2 points in the ball game. 18 seconds showing on the first quarter clock. Alma down by 3. Parker, senior post girl for the Airedalettes. First free throw, no good. Hallmark, offensive rebound. Follow won't go. Rebound Taylor. Hallmark steals it away from her. She comes up with it. A third shot blocked by Taylor, but we've got a foul on Taylor. The Airedalettes are having all kinds of problems at the free throw line, but they helped themselves that time when they went to the offensive board. Foul was on Taylor. That's her first. And Marcy Hallmark will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. Alma could be ahead if they would hit their free throws. 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Hallmark has shot pretty well from the free throw line. She's 2 of 3, but the first one's in and out, no good. And Alma's woes continue from the charity stripe. Hallmark can cut it to 2 if she can make this one. 12 seconds showing. Hamburg's going to have time to get the ball down for 1 shot. Second one by Hallmark, no good. Rebound Melinda Brown. Follow shot from the baseline, no good. Long rebound, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Alma, and with 7 seconds to play, Hamburg's going to have it. And the Airedalettes continue to have problems from the free throw line. They cannot buy a free throw here in the latter stages of the first quarter. Watson into the front court, 3 seconds to play. Right side of the key, jump shot at the buzzer, off the glass, no good. So did I. Do what? Yeah, that's good. You do. You go in there and talk real sweet to Rick. We're set to go with quarter number 2. Alma trailing 15-12, scoring after 1 quarter. Marcy Hallmark, 6 points for Alma, 2 points apiece for Dotson Stewart and Shannon Parker. We'll check the Hamburg scoring in just a moment. They've got the basketball to begin the second quarter. Carly back in the lineup along with Ann Thomas. Carly right side on the wing to Faye Hill. Underneath pass intended for Thomas, off her hands and out of bounds, and Alma will get it back. And the clock did not start during that series of possessions. The official scorer forgot to get the clock going. I don't know what they're going to do now. Surely they're not going to give Hamburg another possession. They're coming over to the table right now. They may have to just play a few extra minutes. 7:49 on the clock. 7:49. They run 11 seconds off. Alma has the ball. Stewart in the backcourt. Loses it momentarily. They need to hurry to beat the 10-second clock. Steal by Rose Taylor. Taylor away to Cynthia Watson. Left side of the key. Can't get a shot away. Gives it out front to Rochelle Carly. Carly left side to Watson. Watson goes baseline. Pulls up from about 10 feet away. Goes left side to Taylor. Left side of the key. Shot no good. Foul on Parker. Parker reaching in on the shot. Picks up her second, the 5th against Alma. And Rose Taylor will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. Taylor, 2 points in the ball game. 7:28 to play in the first half. Alma down by 3, 15-12. First one by Rose Taylor is on the way, no good. Taylor will have one more coming. She can make it a 4-point ball game. Alma, despite the fact they've had their problems in the early going, still only trailing now by 4 points as Taylor hits the second one, and Alma really should consider themselves rather fortunate. Stewart in the backcourt, away to Becky Smith. Smith takes an extra step, and we've got to travel against the Airedalettes. Becky Smith along the right side took the extra step as she tried to feed it in the backcourt to Tiny Stewart. Hamburg has it on the turnover with 7:26 to play in the first quarter. Cynthia Watson along the left side out front to Rochelle Carley. Carley, right side on the wing to Faye Hill. Hill underneath Rose Taylor around Parker. Short jumper, no good. Rebound Cynthia Watson. Follow off the glass, no good. Ball batted out front by Taylor. Carley gets it from the free throw line. Shot no good. And finally, Tiny Stewart comes up with a rebound. And she is promptly fouled in the backcourt by number 52, Cynthia Watson. Watson, check that. It's going to go against Rochelle Carley. Carley there along with Watson, and Carley will be whistled for the personal foul, her first of the afternoon. We'll have a 1-and-1 at the other end of the floor. Tiny Stewart will be at the free throw line, and we'll see if the Airedalettes can change their fortunes at the free throw line here in quarter number 2. It's a 4-point ball game, 7:09 to play in the half. First one by Stewart, on the way, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Taylor. Taylor in the backcourt, across the timeline to Faye Hill. Hill pulls up along the right side, out front to Cynthia Watson. Watson, top of the circle, to Carley along the right side. Baseline to Faye Hill, jump shot from 15, no good. Fight for the rebound, won by Cynthia Watson. Watson, baseline jumper over Dotson, in and out, no good. Dotson with the rebound. Away in the backcourt to Tiny Stewart with 6:45 to play in the first half. Stewart into the front court, pulls up along the right side. Alma can cut it to 2 with a bucket here. You get the feeling if Alma could get a couple of buckets on successive trips down the floor, they would overcome some of the flatness here in the early part of the ballgame, but they have not been able to get on track. Dotson from the right side, baseline jumper, no good. Hill with the rebound. Ahead to Carley. Carley right side, Taylor. Taylor loses the ball, and she's called for the double dribble. Taylor got a bit ahead of herself right there. She had a fast break bucket ahead of her. Tiny Stewart was trying to cut her off, but I don't know if she would have been able to, but Taylor lost the basketball. Alma again gets a break. They'll have it in the backcourt. Becky Smith fouled by Cynthia Watson. And that's 3 fouls on Cynthia Watson. Watson, the point guard for the Hamburg Lady Lions. The scoreboard is showing 2 fouls on Watson. We'll get a check on that. I've got it with 3. The scoreboard shows 2. Becky Smith, at any rate, is at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. First one on the way. This one goes down. Becky Smith hits a free throw, her first point of the ball game, and it's a 3-point game. 16-13, 6:15 to play in the first half. Apparently only the second foul on Cynthia Watson. Becky Smith hits free throw number 2, and we've got a 2-point ball game. 16-14, 2 on the afternoon for Becky Smith. Cynthia Watson across the timeline for the Lady Lions. Left side to Carley. Smith flashes for the steal, can't get it. Carley from the top of the circle, jump shot no good. Rebound Tiny Stewart. And with 6 minutes to play in the first half, Alma looks to tie. Stewart beats the trap, moves into the front court, and now she loses her footing and is called for the travel. Alma's going to have to come to the player with the basketball at half court. They're getting the ball just across the timeline. Hamburg is double teaming them, trapping them at half court. Somebody's got to come meet the basketball. They didn't do it that time. Stewart went to her, or rather lost her footing. Called for the travel, and Hamburg has it. 5:53 to play in the second quarter. The Lady Lions look to go up by 4. Thomas at the free throw line to Watson. Right side, Faye Hill from the wing. Jumper off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled away by Angela Johnson. Johnson just into the ball game for Carley. Clears it out front to Watson. Watson, nice feed inside to Taylor. Shot no good. Follow shot by Ann Thomas goes down, however. Thomas with 5. And the Lady Lions doing a job on the Airedalettes underneath the offensive boards. 5:27 to play in the half. Dotson across the timeline. Right side to Hallmark. Give and go back to Dotson underneath. Shot rejected by Angela Johnson. Johnson got the basketball but stepped on the baseline. And the Airedalettes will get it back. 5:21 to play in the half. Alma down by 4. Stewart away to Shannon Parker. Parker right baseline. Out front to Becky Smith. Pass too high. It's going to go over her head and out of bounds. And Hamburg's going to have it on the turnover. Alma doing some things this afternoon we haven't seen them do all season long. Throwing the basketball away, consistently missing at the free throw line. They are not playing their best basketball. They'll have to hope they can get on track as the afternoon progresses. Fortunately, they're still in the ballgame, only down by 4. Cynthia Watson, top of the circle, moves right side of the key. Running jumper from 10 feet, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Tiny Stewart. Stewart tries to get the fast break going. Gives it away to Babette Dodson. Dodson into the front court. Pulls up at the free throw line. Jumper good. Dodson with 4. And it's a 2-point game again. 18-16. 4:48 to play in the half. Lead court pass to Angela Johnson. Away to Thomas. Back to Johnson on the left wing. Set shot from 15. No good. Fight for the rebound. Won by Rose Taylor. Her follow is up and in, and she draws the foul. Shannon Parker picks up the personal. Taylor gets the bucket. They'll count it. She's got 5, and she'll go to the free throw line. And that is the third on Shannon Parker. And she's into some foul trouble. Substitution now for the Lady Lions. Number 34, Jennifer Black, checks into the ballgame for the first time today. 4:38 to play in the half. Alma down by 4. Rose Taylor's free throw's on the way. No good. Rebound Dotson. And Alma again looks to cut it to 2. Dotson into the front court to Tiny Stewart. Stewart moves left side of the key, goes underneath. Running jumper is good, but I don't think they're going to count the bucket. There was a foul on Hamburg before the shot. I don't know if they're going to count it. I don't believe they are. Melinda Brown's checking into the ballgame for the Airedalettes. Marcy Hallmark, or rather Shannon Parker, comes out. Foul before the shot, no bucket. Tiny Stewart to the free throw line. Stewart with 2 points on the afternoon. First free throw's on the way. No good. Long rebound. Pulled down by Blagg. Blagg in the backcourt. Tiny Stewart flashes for the steal. Knocks it away. Blagg gets it back into the front court to Fayhill. Right side, Rose Taylor. She loses the ball and is called for the travel. That's the second time Taylor's seen some daylight underneath and lost the basketball. The Airedalettes continue to benefit from some Hamburg mistakes. And with 4:15 to play, they'll have it in the backcourt down by 4. Stewart across the timeline, double teamed, away to Babette Dodson. Dodson to the free throw line, jumper on the way, off the front of the rim, no good. Fight for the rebound is going to be won by Hamburg as the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Marcy Hallmark. And the Lady Lions will have it in the backcourt, leading by 4 with 4:03 to play in the second quarter. Well, this ball game has not lacked for intensity. Both these clubs playing very hard right now. The Lady Lions owning a 4-point lead. Thomas in the backcourt across the timeline to Fayhill. Hill underneath Taylor by herself. Layup no good. Rose Taylor was all alone underneath. In and out no good. Alma with the basketball. Dotson into the front court. Spins away along the left side. Moves to the top of the key and gives it away to Becky Smith. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. Alma down by 4. Dotson top of the circle. Foul from behind. And it's going to go against Jennifer Blagg, her first, and Babette Dodson will be at the free throw line. Dodson with 4. Alma trailing by 4 points. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. Both these clubs have given the other side numerous opportunities in the first half, but neither club's really been able to cash in on them. Free throw by Dodson on the way, good. Babette Dodson, 5 points, and it's a 3-point game again, 20-17. Rochelle Carley now back into the ballgame for the Lady Lions. Jennifer Blagg checks out. So it's Carley, Johnson, Hill, Thomas, and Taylor on the floor now for Hamburg. Smith, Hallmark, Brown, Dotson, and Stewart for the Airedalettes. Second one by Babette Dodson is on the way. This time it's in and out. No good. Rebound pulled away by Ann Thomas. Away in the backcourt to Rose Taylor. Taylor right side to Carley. Carley on the baseline. Ball knocked away by Stewart. Dotson flashes for it. Can't get it. Angela Johnson comes away with it. Out front to Carley. Between the circles. Left side on the wing to Hill. Hill back out front to Carley. Right side Angela Johnson. Johnson moves baseline with 3:20 to play in the quarter. Goes underneath to Ann Thompson. Turnaround over Hallmark. No good. Taylor offensive rebound. Follow shot. No good. But we've got a foul on Tiny Stewart. Hamburg is pounding the Airedalettes underneath the boards. They have gotten numerous second and third tries offensively. Rose Taylor at the line for a 1-and-1. They say it came before the shot. That's the second foul on Tiny Stewart. It comes with 3:15 to play in the second quarter. And Taylor at the line for a 1-and-1. First one on the way, good. Rose Taylor now with 6 points, and it's a 4-point game. 21-17, the Lady Lions up. Second one by Rose Taylor is off the back of the iron, no good. We've got a lane violation against Hamburg, so it won't matter anyway. And the Airedalettes will have it in the backcourt, trailing by 4. Stewart away inbounds to Becky Smith. Smith cross-court to Babette Dodson. Dodson across the timeline now to Hallmark. Cross-court feed, Tiny Stewart. Stewart finds Melinda Brown by herself underneath. Her shot's no good, but Rochelle Carley coming from behind commits the personal foul, and Brown will be at the free throw line. That is the second foul on Carley. And they're going to call it a 1-and-1. I'm surprised that's not a two-shot foul. She was going up for the shot. Her legs were cut out from under her, but they're going to call it a 1-and-1. And Melinda Brown will be at the line. 3:05 to play in the second quarter. Brown scoreless in the ball game. First free throw is on the way, and it's good. Melinda Brown with her first points, and it's a 21-18 ball game. Alma appears to have settled down at least a little bit at the free throw line. Brown's second one is in and out, no good. Taylor with the rebound. Away in the backcourt to Cynthia Watson. She dribbles it off her foot out of bounds, and Alma's going to get it back with a chance to cut it to 1. 3:02 to play in the second quarter. Tiny Stewart on the side. Gives it away to Babette Dodson. Left free throw line extended. Dodson moves baseline. Can't get a shot away. Out front to Tiny Stewart. Stewart between the circles. Dribbles right side against Cynthia Watson. On the wing to Becky Smith. Smith goes baseline. Cross-court feed to Dodson. Too high, out of bounds. And on the turnover, Hamburg's going to get it back. 2:49 to play in the second quarter. Brief break on the floor as Angela Johnson takes care of some shoe tying chores. Now she's got everything situated. We're ready for basketball again. Johnson into the front court. Right side to Faye Hill. Hill on the wing. Right side of the key to Thomas. Back to Hill. Out front to Johnson. Johnson from the right side. Set shot from 18. No good. Dodson fighting for the rebound. Saves the basketball before it goes out of bounds away to Hallmark, and the Airedalettes have it. 2.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Alma again looks to cut it to 1. Stewart, left side Brown. Baseline. Short jumper off the rim. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Alma. The Airedalettes got the shot they wanted that time. It just wouldn't go down. And Hamburg will have it in the backcourt. Leading by 3. Alma has not led in the ball game. Hamburg at one point led it by 7. Angela Johnson on the left wing. Inside, Ann Thomas. Thomas turnaround over Hallmark is good. Ann Thomas now with 7 points, and it's a 5-point ball game. 23-18, 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Babette Dodson in the backcourt. Across the timeline, ball stolen by Ann Thomas. Ahead to Rose Taylor. Taylor along the left side of the key. Shot off the glass, no good. Rebound, Tiny Stewart. Stewart leading the Airedalette break. They've got a man underneath if they can get the ball to her. Melinda Brown is there. Short jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Ann Thomas. The Airedalettes miss out on another chance. The Hamburg Lady Lions now running with the ball. Taylor into the key. Jumper, no good. Rebound, Hallmark. It is ragdoll at its finest right now. Stewart into the front court. 1-on-2. Wisely pulls up along the right side. To Dodson, right side of the key. Short jumper, good. Dodson with 7, and it's a 3-point game with 1:20 to play in the second quarter. Things got out of hand there just for a moment, but Dodson got the jumper, and it's a 3-point game. Cynthia Watson into the key for the Lady Lions. Jumper on the way, no good. Rebound, Hallmark, stolen away by Cynthia Watson. We've got a jump ball between Hallmark and Watson. And on the alternating possession rule, I believe Alma's going to have it. Yes, they call a foul. They don't call a jump ball. They call a foul on Shannon Parker. One ref signal jump ball. The other apparently... Well, let's wait and see what they rule on the floor right now. The officials conferring. We'll have to wait and see what their decision is. I think Alma's going to have the ball. Alternating possession rule. No foul. They call it a jump ball. Alma has it in the backcourt. 1:07 to play in the second quarter. That was the correct call. And Alma with a chance to cut it to 1. Dodson in the backcourt. Away to Tiny Stewart. Stewart into the front court. Pulls up at the top of the circle. Right side on the wing to Becky Smith. Running jumper from 8 feet. In and out. No good. Rebound pulled away by Ann Thomas. Ahead to Angela Johnson with 49 seconds to play in the second quarter. Baseline Faye Hill. Out front to Johnson. Inside Thomas. Turnaround over Parker. No good. Rebound Stewart. Alma again with a chance to cut it to 1. Dodson into the front court with 35 seconds to play. The Airedalettes will slow it down, and they look like they'll go for the last one. Both of these clubs excellent in terms of athletic ability, but neither one of them playing particularly well in the first half. There's been a lot of intensity. They've gotten up and down the floor. They've gotten the shots they wanted, but they just haven't gone down. 18 seconds to play. Dodson between the circles. Alma down by 3. Dodson moves to the right side to Parker. Flash and stolen away by Ann Thomas. She drives the length of the floor, and her layup is good. Ann Thomas with 5 seconds to play. And we've come to the end of the first half. Alma trailing Hamburg at halftime, 25-20. We're back with halftime. Reminder that there are concession stands open. Melinda Brown, Becky Smith, and Babette Johnson on the floor right now for the Airedalettes. Carly Watson, Thomas Hill, and Rose Taylor for the Hamburg Lady Lions. Carly with the basketball, goes right side, on the wing to Cynthia Watson. Watson, right free throw line extended back out front to Carly. Left side, Faye Hill. Hill on the wing, underneath Ann Thomas. Thomas turn around over Dotson, no good. Rebound Melinda Brown. Brown in the backcourt. Away to Babette Dodson. Dodson into the front court, off to Tiny Stewart, right side. Stewart is going to be called for a travel, and we've got another problem with the scoreboard. I don't know if anybody's noticed it. Now they get it situated, 7:36 to play in the third quarter, and on the turnover, Hamburg's going to have the basketball. Marcy Hallmark not out on the floor right now for the Airedalettes, and I don't see her on the bench, and I don't know why. We'll try to find out something on that. Rose Taylor at the free throw line, out front to Cynthia Watson. Watson, left side on the wing to Faye Hill. Hill from the left side, wing jumper from about 15 feet is good. Faye Hill with 4 points, and Hamburg leads it by 7. That matches their biggest lead of the ball game. Dodson in the backcourt, away to Tiny Stewart, across the timeline to Babette Dodson. Dodson moves along the right side of the key, and we've got a foul against, I believe Hamburg's going to be called for a foul away from the basketball. It's going to go against Cynthia Watson. Comes with 7:05 to play in the third quarter. And the Airedalettes are going to have the basketball. Angela Johnson checks into the lineup now for the Lady Lions, and Cynthia Watson checks out with 3 fouls. Inbound feed to Melinda Brown, right wing. Jump shot from 12 is good. Melinda Brown with her first field goal. And it's a 5-point game again. Johnson into the front court to Thomas at the free throw line. Right side to Faye Hill. Hill back out front to Johnson. Set shot from the top of the key is good. Angela Johnson with her first field goal. And it's a 7-point game again, 29-22. Tiny Stewart in the backcourt. Looks for Babette Dodson, knocked away by Taylor. Stolen by Johnson. Johnson to Thomas at the free throw line. Got away with a walk, and the jumper goes. And Thomas with 11. And it's a 9-point ball game, 31-22. Now Marcy Hallmark coming out of the locker room, taking her seat on the bench. I don't know what the problem is. We'll try to find out. Tiny Stewart fouled as she moves across the timeline. Angela Johnson going for the loose ball. Hallmark coming out of the locker room with assistant coach Madeline Daly. She's on the bench right now. And the Airedalettes are going to have the basketball. 6:20 to play in the third quarter. Alma down by 9, 31-22. Stewart, Brown, Smith, Parker, and Dotson on the floor for the Airedalettes. Stewart with the basketball between the circles. 6:15 to play in the third. Left side on the wing to Babette Dodson. Dodson moves to the free throw line, gets a nice screen from Parker and hits the jumper. Dodson with 9 points. Good screen by Shannon Parker to free Dodson, and it's a 7-point game again. Hill into the front court. Pulls up at the free throw line. Jumper good. Faye Hill with 6 points. And it's a 9-point game again. Alma wants to talk it over. 5:56 to play in the third. Hamburg up 33-24. We're back in 60 seconds. I wonder what the deal with Hallmark was. 5:56 to play in the third quarter. Alma down by 9. Marcy Hallmark now back in the lineup for the Airedalettes. Melinda Brown takes a seat on the bench. Alma with the ball in the backcourt. Tiny Stewart away to Becky Smith. Smith across the timeline to Babette Dodson. And we've got a whistle, and they're going to call the foul on. They're going to call the foul on Babette Dodson. I'm a bit surprised at that. Faye Hill did not give Dodson room to turn around, but they called the charge anyway. Hamburg's going to have the basketball at the midcourt stripe. That's the first foul on Babette Dodson. And Hamburg with a chance to go up by 11. Faye Hill on the left wing. Out front to Carly. Carly right side Johnson. Free throw line extended. Back out front to Carly. Carly to Johnson on the wing. Set shot from 18. No good. Rebound pulled down by Babette Dodson. Dodson in the backcourt. Away to Becky Smith. Smith double teamed ahead to Dodson. Dodson across the timeline. Double teamed again. Somebody's got to come meet the ball. Shannon Parker along the left side does with 5:20 to play in the third. Back to Dodson. Dodson out front to Tiny Stewart. Alma looking to cut it to 7. Stewart Pressure defensively, right side to Becky Smith. Smith pulls up on the wing to Hallmark in the lane, shot over Hill, no good. Rebound pulled down by Ann Thomas. Ahead to Rose Taylor. Taylor finds Fayhill by herself. Fayhill misses the driving layup. Tiny Stewart with the rebound. We've got a jump ball called as Rose Taylor and Tiny Stewart tie it up, and on the alternating possession rule, Hamburg's going to get the basketball. Tough break for the Airedalettes right there. 5 minutes to play in the third. Hill away in the backcourt to Angela Johnson. Johnson to Ann Thomas. Her shot is up and good. And they're going to give Alma the basketball. They gave the ball to Hamburg. They hit a bucket. Now apparently it was to be Alma's basketball rather than Hamburg, so Alma's going to get it. 4:58 to play in the third. Alma's ball in the backcourt after a bit of confusion. And the Airedalettes with a chance to cut it to 7, and boy, they really need to do it right here. Dotson into the front court. Goes underneath to Parker. Parker by herself hits the short jumper. Parker with 4 points in the ball game. 33-26. 4:42 to play in the third quarter. Angela Johnson into the front court. Top of the circle. Right side to Fayhill on the wing. Hill looks underneath for Taylor. Can't find her. Out front to Johnson. Set shot from the top of the key. No good. Fight for the rebound. Won by Ann Thomas, but Thomas had to go over the back to do it. And she's called for the personal foul. Thomas picks up her third. And the Airedalettes are going to have it in the backcourt. That is the second team foul against Hamburg here in the third quarter. Stewart away to Becky Smith in the backcourt. Smith across the timeline to Dotson. Dotson tripped up, keeps her footing, moves to the right side of the key. Turnaround jumper from 8 feet is good. Dotson with 11. 33-28. The Airedalettes cut it to 5. 4:15 to play in the third. Johnson, left side to Carly. Carly to Taylor, left side of the key. Turnaround over Dotson, no good. We've got a charge on Rose Taylor. Rose Taylor using the arm to push off is called for the offensive foul. And the Airedalettes will have it in the backcourt with a chance to cut it to 3. Alma down by 9 just moments ago. They've got the ball in the backcourt. Babette Dotson double teamed away to Tiny Stewart with 4:05 to play in the third. Stewart still in the backcourt to Becky Smith, and Smith moves it into the front court. Ball knocked away. Smith gets it back. Right side to Babette Dotson. Dotson underneath. Parker. Short jumper good. Shannon Parker with 6, and it's a 3-point ball game. 33-30. 3:48 to play in the third. Johnson into the front court for the Lady Lions. Right side to Fayhill. Free throw line extended. Back out front to Johnson. Left side Carly. She loses it. It goes out of bounds. We've got a foul on Tiny Stewart. Stewart going for the loose basketball along the side with Rochelle Carly. Stewart called for the push. That's her third foul. And Hamburg will have it on the side. Substitution now for the Lady Lions. Cynthia Watson back into the lineup. Angela Johnson comes out. And Rosie Mosby makes her first appearance of the afternoon. Rose Taylor gets a break. 3:38 to play in the third. Alma down by 3. Hamburg with the basketball. Cynthia Watson between the circles. Goes left side to Carly. Carly to Fayhill, left side of the key. Back to Johnson at the free throw line. Jumper good. Angela Johnson with 4. And it's a 5-point game again. Dotson quickly across the timeline. Double team for Alma. Away to Tiny Stewart. Stewart tries to go left side to Becky Smith. It's picked off by Ann Thomas. Ahead to Rosie Mosby. Back to Watson. Watson to Mosby on the right wing. She's by herself from 10 feet and she buries it. Mosby with her first field goal, and it's a 7-point game now. 37-30. 2:58 to play in the third quarter. Dotson into the front court, loses the ball. Mosby comes up with it. Ahead to Cynthia Watson. Watson along the left side of the key, moves into the lane. Running jumper, no good. Rebound, Marcy Hallmark. Away to Tiny Stewart. Alma needs a bucket here. Stewart into the front court with 2:40 to play in the third. Alma down by 7. Stewart guarded closely by Carly. Loses her dribble. Now she's double teamed. Goes right side to Babette Dotson. Dotson gets a screen. Goes baseline. 12-footer good. Dotson heating up. She's got 13. 37-32. Watson into the front court. Left side to Carly. Carly goes on the wing to Fayhill. Fayhill turnaround jumper. No good. Rebound Hallmark. And Alma can cut it to 3 with a bucket. Stewart in the backcourt. Across the timeline to Becky Smith. We've got a foul away from the basketball. And it's going to go against Babette Dotson. Babette Dotson setting apparently an illegal screen away from the basketball. She is called for the foul. And the officials conferring again to the midcourt stripe, but They don't have to do much talking this time. They know Hamburg's got the basketball. 2:10 to play in the third. Hamburg by 5. Tough break for Alma right there, but it probably was a good call. Dodson setting the moving screen, and the Lady Lions on the attack offensively. Carly between the circles. Right side to Cynthia Watson. Watson from the right side. Shot no good. Wild shot. Rebound Thomas. And she's fouled from behind by Tiny Stewart, and Tiny Stewart's picked up her 4th foul. A minute 58 to play in the third quarter. And neither club in the bonus yet. There's been some confusion on the floor. I don't know why. That's only the 4th team foul against the Airedalettes. Hamburg has the basketball. Carly takes the inbound feed right side. Away to Cynthia Watson. Underneath Hill. Loose ball. Stolen by Dotson. Stolen right back by Rosie Mosby. Underneath. Hill by herself. Layup good. Faye Hill with 8 points. It's a 7-point game. 39-32, a minute 40 to play in the third. Dotson across the timeline. Trapped defensively. Away to Stewart. Left side on the wing to Becky Smith. Smith fakes once. Moves to the free throw line. Underneath. Parker. Shot blocked by Hill. Parker gets it back. But they're going to call Faye Hill for the foul on the first shot, and that'll send Shannon Parker to the line for 2. 1:29 remaining in the third quarter. Alma down by 7. They trail by 5 at halftime. Rose Taylor now back into the ball game for Hamburg. Melinda Brown in for Alma. Tiny Stewart comes out with 4 fouls, and that really hurts the Airedalettes. They need Tiny Stewart on the floor to run the show offensively, but they're going to have to do without her for a while, I would imagine. Probably she'll enter the ball game around the 5 or 6 minute mark in the fourth quarter. First one by Parker, no good. Parker with 6 points on the afternoon, 4 of them coming here in the third quarter. Second one by Parker, in and out, no good. Rebound, Dan Thomas. We've got a foul in the backcourt on Becky Smith. Smith picks up her 3rd. That's the 5th against Alma. And we'll go to the other end of the floor where Ann Thomas will be at the free throw line. Thomas with 11 points on the afternoon. And she can make it a 9-point game if she can both of them, but she's got to make the first one to earn the bonus. First one by Ann Thomas is on the way. It bounds around and drops in. Thomas now with 12 points. She'll have one more coming. 40-32. Hamburg by 8. A minute 27 to play in the third quarter. Second one by Thomas. In and out, no good. Rebound, Dotson. Alma really needs to cut it to 6 or 4 points before the quarter comes to a close. Dotson along the right baseline to Becky Smith, right wing. Smith back to Dotson, baseline. Shot no good, but we've got a foul on Rosie Mosby. With a minute 14 to play in the quarter, Mosby went for the block, got Dotson on the arm, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2. That's the first foul against Rosie Mosby. And Dotson will be at the line with a chance to cut it to 6. Dotson with 13 points on the day. First free throw's on the way, and it's good. Dotson now collected 7 points in the third quarter, and it's 40-33. Second one by Babette Dotson is on the way. It also finds the mark. Dotson with 15, 40-34. A minute 13 now to play in the quarter. Watson into the front court for Hamburg. Left side on the wing to Rosie Mosby. Back to Watson. Out front to Carly. Carly to Watson. Left side of the key. Running jumper over Dotson. In and out. No good. Rebound Parker. A minute to play in the quarter, and Alma can cut it to 4. Becky Smith in the backcourt. Away to Dotson. Mosby flashes for the steal and is whistled for the foul. Rosie Mosby picks up her second foul. Dotson goes back to the free throw line with 54 seconds to play in the third quarter. Alma still trailing by 6 points in the ball game, but Dotson, she hit her last 2 free throws. If she can do it again, it'll be a 4-point ball game. 15 points for Babette Dotson, 8 of them coming here in the third quarter. First one's on the way, in and out and back in good. Dotson makes it a 5-point game, 40-35. Dotson will have one more coming. Second free throw is on the way. This one also finds the mark. Dotson with 17 now, 10 in the third. 40-36, 50 seconds to play in the third. Watson into the front court. Alma in the 2-1-2 zone. Watson between the circles. Moves left side of the key, goes baseline. They let her inside. Her shot's no good. Rebound Parker. 40 seconds to play. Alma can cut it to 2. Smith beats the pressure, moves the ball across the timeline, gets away with a backcourt violation. Now they call the backcourt violation. That was obvious. And Hamburg gets a tough break for the Airedalettes. It's a whole different ball game when you play in the state tournament, folks. Carly left side to Watson underneath Taylor. Shot good, and she draws the foul. And just like that, Hamburg is back up by 6 with a chance to go up by 7. Taylor with 8 points now, and she'll go back to the free throw line. Foul called against Shannon Parker, and that's Parker's 4th foul. So Parker and Stewart both with 4 fouls now for Alma. Taylor at the free throw line, and she completes the 3-point play. Taylor with 9, 43-36. Boy, that was a big turn of events right there. Alma with a chance to cut the lead to 2. Instead, Hamburg is now up by 7. Brown to Parker at the free throw line. Loses the ball. Brown gets it back. 13 seconds to play to Smith at the top of the circle. Alma looks to cut it to 5. 8 seconds to play. Smith along the right side to Marcy Hallmark. To Parker, right baseline. 3 seconds to play. Back to Hallmark. Her jumper at the buzzer is good. Marcy Hallmark from 10 feet as the third quarter in 60 seconds. The scoring for the Airedalettes. For the Lady Lions, 12 for Ann Thomas, 9 for Rose Taylor, and 8 for Faye Hill. Hamburg has the ball to begin the quarter. Hallmark, Dotson, Brown, Smith, and Parker for the Airedalettes. Carly, right side to Angela Johnson. Ann Thomas, Rose Taylor, and Faye Hill also on the floor for the Lady Lions. Faye Hill on the left wing, out front to Carly. Carly, right side, Johnson. Johnson underneath Thomas. Thomas along the baseline, working inside, gets position, but misses the shot. Dotson with the rebound. Alma with a chance to cut it to 3. Smith in the backcourt, moves it across the timeline with 7:33 to play in the ball game. Smith goes to the right wing, double teamed, out front to Melinda Brown. Brown back to Smith on the wing. Smith goes baseline underneath Parker. Parker shot no good, rebound Ann Thomas. Ahead to Angela Johnson, to Rose Taylor. Taylor one-on-one against Melinda Brown. Taylor shot off the glass and good. Taylor with 11. 45-38, Hamburg by 7. The Airedalettes miss Tiny Stewart's presence on the floor right now. Smith across the timeline to Melinda Brown. Brown baseline Parker. Parker back to Brown, left free throw line extended to Dotson on the left wing. Dotson double teamed to Smith on the left wing. Thought about putting one up. Back to Dotson by herself from 15. Shot no good. Rebound Parker along the baseline. Shot over Thomas. Good. Parker with 8 points. 5-point game. 45-40. 6:45 to play. Carly left side to Angela Johnson. Johnson on the left wing, out front to Carly. Carly back to Johnson, left side of the key. Rose Taylor, turn around, no good. Fight for the rebound, won by Taylor, and her follow shot is up and in. Taylor with 13 points now. Alma continuing to lose the battle of the boards. Hamburg has gotten many second and third opportunities tonight, and now a turnover. Rose Taylor comes up with it. Ahead to Angela Johnson, left side of the key, inside, ball knocked away. Taylor gets it, easy layup, good. 15 for Taylor, and it's a 7-point game. Pardon me, a 9-point game. 49-40. 6:05 to play. Dotson into the front court. Left side on the wing. Now baseline to Shannon Parker, and she buries the jumper from about 8 feet. Parker with 10. 49-42. 5:57 to play. Hill into the front court. Right side Carly. Lob underneath Thomas. Thomas turn around over Parker. No good. And we've got a foul on Marcy Hallmark. Hallmark picking up the personal as Tiny Stewart checks back into the ball game with 5:52 to play. Melinda Brown comes to the bench, and Thomas will be at the line for 2. That's the first foul of the afternoon against Marcy Hallmark. And Thomas at the line. She's got 12 on the day. Her first one's on the way, and it's good. Thomas now with 13, 50-42, 5:52 to play. Alma's never led in the ball game. They've been close, but they just haven't been able to get over that second one by Thomas also good. She's got 14, 9-point ball game. Stewart in the backcourt, away to Becky Smith. Across the timeline to Marcy Hallmark. Hallmark stripped of the ball, and Faye Hill goes the length of the floor for the easy layup. Alma is going to take a much-needed timeout. 5:38 to play in the game. Hamburg trying to break it open. 53-42. We're back in 60 seconds. basketball game. Alma down by 11. Becky Smith in the backcourt, away to Tiny Stewart. Smith now brings it across the timeline. Cross-court feed to Babette Dodson. Dodson on the left wing. Moves to the free throw line. Right side, Smith on the wing. She goes baseline, running jumper. No good. Rebound collected by Cynthia Watson. With 5:15 to play. Hamburg by 11. Watson into the front court. Baseline, Angela Johnson. Out front to Carly. Carly back to Johnson. They give her the set shot from 15. She elects not to take it. Finds Faye Hill on the left side of the key. Her shot no good. Watson with the offensive rebound. Her foul goes down. Watson with 6. And it's a 13-point game. Dodson in the backcourt. Away to Tiny Stewart. Stewart ahead to Becky Smith. Smith back to Stewart. Stewart into the front court. Left side of the key to Marcy Hallmark. Hallmark guarded by Thomas. Moves inside, double teamed. Away to Dodson. Out front to Stewart from the free throw line. Jumper off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound, Dan Thomas. Lead court pass to Carly. Carly has the ball knocked away by Tiny Stewart. She gets it back, gives it out front to Ann Thomas. Thomas to the free throw line. Again knocked away, and again Carly comes up with it. Out front to Cynthia Watson. Watson spins into the free throw line. Running jumper is good. It's a foul on Watson. I don't know if they're going to count the bucket. They wave it off. Basket won't go. Offensive foul on Cynthia Watson. Shannon Parker again setting up and taking the charge. And Alma will have it in the backcourt. Michelle Carly comes out of the lineup now for Hamburg, and Rose Taylor comes back in after a brief rest. 4:22 to play. Hamburg by 13. And the Airedalettes are going to have the basketball in the backcourt. Alma's got to score a lot of points quickly. They're going to have to make a run. In the backcourt, Tiny Stewart away to Becky Smith. Back to Stewart. To Smith. Smith to Stewart on the left side. Stewart finally brings it into the front court. Moves right side. Goes on the wing, out front to Smith. Smith at the free throw line, tries to go left side, pass too high. Hallmark runs it down, and she's fouled by Angela Johnson. Hamburg pressing all over the floor. Alma has not seen a team this quick all season long. They've not seen a team that pressures the basketball all over the floor like this all season long. And you can definitely tell it's a new ball game for the Airedalettes this afternoon. They have run into a team that is quicker and faster than they are, and that hasn't happened too many times this season. Hallmark at the line for a 1-and-1. First one by Marcy Hallmark. No good. Off the front of the rim. Faye Hill with a rebound. Hill into the front court. Moves along the right side to Angela Johnson. Johnson to Thomas at the free throw line. Jumper is good. And Thomas with 16, and it's a 15-point ball game now. 3:50 to play. Stewart into the front court, across the timeline, beats the pressure, tries to go left side to Hallmark, knocked away. Smith gets it back to Hallmark. Baseline, running jumper, good. Marcy Hallmark with 10, 57-44, 3:35 to play. Faye Hill, right side to Angela Johnson. Johnson on the wing, pulls up, picks up her dribble to Thomas. Baseline, turnaround over. Parker is good. And Thomas taking over the ball game in the fourth quarter. She's got 18. Alma wants time. 3:20 to play. Hamburg's broken it open. 59. Basketball game. The Airedalettes down by 15. They'll have it in the backcourt, and Hamburg still pressing all over the floor. Tiny Stewart with the ball in the backcourt. Away to Becky Smith. Smith, cross-court feed to Babette Dodson. Dodson, left side, baseline intended for Shannon Parker. Bad pass out of bounds. And Hamburg will take over in the backcourt with 3:12 to play. Well, it could be a big night for Hamburg. Their senior boys playing the next ball game. They've got a bunch of fans across the way that are ready for that one to get started. Hill into the front court. Away to Johnson. Johnson loses it. Becky Smith knocks it away out of bounds. But Hamburg will maintain possession with 3:03 to play in the ball game. Angela Johnson. Away to Rosie Mosby. Mosby in the lineup now along with Rose Taylor. Inside to Taylor. Left side on the wing. And Thomas, short jumper, no good. It's one of the few times Thomas has been alone tonight. She missed that jumper. Most of the time she's been hitting the short ones with 2 and 3 people on her. Dodson into the front court. Baseline feed Shannon Parker. Parker hits the short jumper. Parker with 12. 59-46, 2:40 to play. Smith with a steal in the backcourt, but she steps on the baseline. And Hamburg will have the basketball. 2:41 to play. The Lady Lions want time. Hamburg by 13. We're back in a minute. Back too early then. To play in the basketball game. Hamburg leading it by 13. Will have the basketball in the backcourt. Ann Thomas takes the inbounds feed across the timeline to Rosie Mosby. Mosby away to Angela Johnson. Johnson on the left wing underneath Taylor. Taylor shot off the glass is good, and she draws the foul. Marcy Hallmark picks up her second foul. Taylor gets the bucket, and she'll go to the free throw line. Taylor now with 17 points, 8 coming in the fourth quarter. 8 points for Taylor in the fourth, 6 points for Ann Thomas in the fourth quarter. And the Lady Lions have really flexed their muscles here in the final 8 minutes. 61-46. 2:32 showing on the game clock as Taylor completes the three-point play. She's got 18 now. She and Thomas each with 18 on the afternoon. Stewart in the backcourt, away to Becky Smith. Smith, ball knocked away. Dotson gets it back. 3-on-2. Dotson tries to dish it off to Hallmark. Hallmark couldn't come up with it. We've got a jump ball on the floor, and on the alternating possession rule, Alma has it. 2:20 showing on the game clock. Alma down by 16 points. Bit of moisture on the floor. They clean it up. Hamburg coach Linda Barrett brings out a towel, and they tend to a few chores, and we're set for basketball again. 2:20 to play. Hamburg by 16. Smith, nice inbound speed to Stewart underneath the bucket. Can't get the layup to go. Gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in. Tiny Stewart with 4. 62-48. Mosby knocked away in the backcourt, stolen by Becky Smith, ahead to Babette Dodson, and she'll get the easy layup. Dodson with 19, 62-50, 2 minutes to play in the game, and we've got a foul on Babette Dodson. Dodson picking up the personal. That is her third foul of the afternoon. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Ann Thomas. Carly back into the ball game now. Angela Johnson comes out, and Cynthia Watson back into the ballgame for the Lady Lions as Rosie Mosby checks out of the lineup. 1-and-1 for Ann Thomas. First one's on the way, and it's good. Thomas now with 19 points. Hamburg, as we told you at the outset of the broadcast, the defending overall state champions. Folks, without question, they're the best girls team we've seen all season. Second one by Thomas is good. She's got 20, and it's a 64-50 ballgame. 2 minutes to play. Stewart in the backcourt, away to Becky Smith. Smith double-teamed across the timeline, stolen by Rosie Mosby. Mosby, left side of the key, pulls up to Cynthia Watson. She goes inside. Layup off the glass is in and out, no good. Rebound, Thomas, follow no good. Thomas again, this time it goes down. Thomas with 22 points. 16-point Hamburg lead with 1:30 to play in the game. Dotson. Away to Becky Smith in the backcourt. Smith across the timeline to Tiny Stewart. Stewart to Parker on the right side. To Dotson in the lane. They give her the shot from 8, and she knocks it down. Dotson with 21. 66-52. 1:18 to play. Watson in the backcourt. Away to Faye Hill. Hill guarded by Becky Smith. Beats the pressure. Moves it into the front court. 3-on-1. Thomas with the open shot. It's no good, but Babette Dodson fouls her in desperation, really, and Ann Thomas will go to the free throw line. That's the fourth foul of the game on Babette Dodson. Becky Smith comes out of the lineup as Melinda Brown comes on the floor. 1:09 to play. Hamburg, as has been evident for the past few moments, is going to win it. They lead by 14. Thomas's first free throw's on the way, and it's good. Ann Thomas now with 23 points on the day. What an afternoon she's had. Second one by Thomas is good. Now she's got 24, and it's a 16-point ball game. That matches the biggest lead Hamburg has enjoyed this afternoon. Wholesale substitutions now for the Lady Lions. Janet Oliver comes onto the floor, and Jennifer Blagg is back on the floor as Watson and Thomas come out of the lineup. And we've got a foul as Babette Dodson moves the ball across the timeline. It's going to go against Jennifer Blagg, her second. 3 seconds roll off the clock. 1:06 to play now. Dodson at the free throw line. Babette Dodson, Shannon Parker, Melinda Brown, Tiny Stewart among the Airedalettes on the floor right now, who will be winding up their high school careers this afternoon. It's unfortunate that only the state champion gets to win their final high school basketball game, but of course that's the way it's set up under the tournament brackets. Shannon Boyd checks into the ball game now for Alma. Marcy Hallmark comes out. Johnson cans the first free throw. She'll have one more coming. She's got 22 on the afternoon, 68-53. Second one by Babette Dodson is in and out, no good. Rebound, Rose Taylor. Taylor clears it out across the timeline for the Lady Lions and gives way to Faye Hill with a minute to play in the game. Hill, right side to Carley. Rochelle Carley back out front now to Faye Hill. Right free throw line extended. Cross court to Jennifer Blagg. Left side of the key, Rose Taylor. Taylor turnaround, no good. Rebound, Parker. 45 seconds to play. Away to Babette Dodson. Dodson spins into the front court. And goes left side to Tiny Stewart with 37 seconds to play. Stewart left free throw line extended. On the wing to Shannon Boyd. Boyd double team, cross-court feed, knocked away. Melinda Brown gets it. Back to Shannon Parker. She goes baseline, forces one. It's no good, but she drew the foul. And she'll go to the line. Janet Oliver picking up her first foul of the day. And Shannon Parker will be at the line with 28 seconds showing on the game clock. Carrie Anderson now checking in for Hamburg as Jennifer Blagg comes out. Shannon Parker with 12 points on the afternoon, 6 of them coming here in the fourth quarter. First one by Shannon Parker is on the way off the front of the rim, no good. Certainly a disappointing way to end the season for the Airedalettes, but it has been a fantastic season. 28-2 coming into this ballgame. Losses only to Southside and County Line, and by the way, they beat both Southside and County Line, split with those two clubs as Parker hits both ends, or rather hits the second free throw. And on the other end, Hamburg with the basketball. 20 seconds to play. Faye Hill, left side. Anderson out front to Carley. Cross court to Hill with 13 seconds to play. Out front to Carley. 68-54. Carley left side. Anderson. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Anderson. And Alma will have it with 8 seconds to play. Hamburg will move into the finals. And they will play tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against either Batesville or Mountain Home. Brown into the front court. We've got a whistle and a foul with 4 seconds to play. It's going to go against Melinda Brown. That's a charge. And Hamburg's going to get the basketball. 4 seconds showing, 68-54. Carrie Anderson takes the inbounds feed across the timeline to Faye Hill. Long jumper at the buzzer is no good. And the basketball game is over. Hamburg moves to 26-1 on the season. They end the Airedalette season at